Hello, everyone, and welcome to the official Zen Project 8 beta launch. I'm Cassiah Jay. I want to welcome all of you who are tuning in for week 4. I'm here today with celebrity fitness and nutrition expert, also Zen brand ambassador, Mark MacDonald. Hi, Mark.
Hello, Cassiah. Hello, Zen Project 8 community. Welcome. Excited about tonight.
I can't believe we're already in week 4. This is so exciting. So guys, thanks for watching live. If you're watching from hangouts.zenproject8.com, be sure to leave those questions, comments, and feedback in the sidebar. Also, if you're just joining and this is your first week, come on over with me. I want to take you to zenproject8.com, and here are your 8 steps for getting started. So if you go to zenproject8.com and click on Hangouts, that will take you to this website right now where you're watching the show, and you can catch up on previous replays, including week 1, so you know where to start. Also, come down here, you'll see the 3 phases of our program: the detox, the ignite, and the thrive phase. Right now we are in ignite, so your questions can be answered here, and if you scroll down, you'll see 8 steps for getting started in the program. 1 is making the commitment to joining our Facebook community. We want to engage with you in there. We want you to download these great phase PDFs that Mark has provided for everybody in our community, so you can easily follow along with meal plans and recipes. Great things for you to really stay on course. Order your Zen products, take your before pictures, and tune in every week, every Monday night at 9 p.m. right here on these Hangouts. And step number 7, take your after pictures. And of course, we need those submitted, the before and after pictures and your measurements, to be considered for the top 100 transformations. That must be submitted by March 7th, 2016. So gosh, it is so exciting to have all of you tuning in here with us live. We're already into week 4. Tonight's title of the show is Working Out Smarter, Not Harder. What a great title. I love that. And also, before we get started on tonight's show, Mark has prepared just a special highlight of specific members of our community who we want to honor for doing great things. So Mark, I'm going to turn it over to you. I know you had a couple things to cover and you wanted to highlight some people in our community who are really just having great success on the program.
Yeah, because I thought we could dive into the results, and then what if we end the webcast with highlighting the people? How's that sound?
Let's do it. I love that.
But let's dive in. This is what I want to share, because I and I were talking, and we're into the group consistently, and the whole thing was people are looking at, okay, well, what about the scale? What does the scale mean? And so many times you're going to see people who are going to be dropping on the detox phase or the ignite phase, and what we want to prevent is that you let the scale determine your mood and the outcome. That is not the objective here. Got to understand, we all move at different paces. We all have different speeds of metabolisms. This is not a sprint. This is going to be a marathon, and we're going to get there 1% at a time. So as you look at it, I don't want the scale to be your determining factor. I don't want that to define you. I want you to look at your checklist for success. So before we dive into the Q&A, these are the things you want to keep looking at. If we start thinking about, so if you look at your screen, you want increased daily energy. So that's the first thing. So if you feel great, that's what we want. Second, no sugar cravings. If you have sugar cravings, you might be losing weight. The problem, though, is that willpower is going to fail you. Then we want to increase daily appetite. So you actually want to be hungrier as you're going, not less hungry. The faster your metabolism, the more you want to eat. Your clothes should be feeling looser. You should look leaner in the mirror. You should be decreasing in body fat percentage. And then, Cassiah, you decrease weight. Now look, this is the key. These are your checklists for your progress. So when you wake up and you weigh yourself once a week and somehow you feel like you should have gotten a better result, let's look beyond the scale and realize that there's many factors that come into whether you're succeeding or not.
That's so true. I love those points also, because a lot of times we get fixated on certain things that we think should change, but in reality, your body is changing. You are adjusting, and it takes time sometimes to see those results. So stick to it, guys. All right, Mark, great tips. Thank you for sharing that with us. Are you ready to dive into our rapid fire Q&A? Ready?
Yeah, and Cassiah, the reason why I wanted to hold off on our 5 awards for the community till the end is because I want everyone to be on the edge of their seats, because this is all about the community. So stay with us this whole webcast, because at the end we're going to highlight 5 of our all-stars in our Zen Project 8 community.
I think that sounds like the perfect plan, and I'm glad we're doing it that way. So guys, stay tuned. Don't leave. You'll want to stick around. It could be you. You don't know. We're going to highlight people in our group. All right, so question number one for our rapid fire. This is where I ask Mark the top 10 questions that were in the group, and he answers them as quickly as he possibly can. So question number one, where do I start? I'm new.
Yeah, that's a great question, and you just covered it with your 8 steps. You want to dive into the phases, the detox phase, the ignite phase, the thrive phase. So download the PDFs in the Zen Project 8 community. Go to zenproject8.com, and most important, as you get the information, go to the Google Hangouts and listen to the live webcast. We are in week 4. Make sure you watch these webcasts before you start the program.
Perfect. Okay, question number 2. This is a good one. I'm doing the program, but how do I get my spouse, partner, significant other to be healthier?
Cassiah, I get that question all the time. The reality is this: you need to first lead by example. We get excited about something and we start it in a weekend. We want our significant others, our spouse, our kids. We want the whole family to jump on board. It doesn't work that fast. Dive into it, lead by example. What I guarantee is this: as you keep making food that tastes good, as you start showing greater energy, as you have a greater mood, and you're starting to move and work out and just an overall well-being, you're going to ignite your spouse to do the exact same. So lead by example, and trust me, they're going to follow you.
That's great advice. That works in all areas of our lives, right? Not just our bodies. Next question. What adjustments should I make if my energy is low? I feel like my energy is dropping. What do I do?
Yeah, so if you're in the detox phase, when you take out all of that junk, all that processed food, and that's going to make your body hold on to fluid, you might feel a little bit low energetic for the first couple of days, especially if you're starting to strip down the caffeine intake. Now, let's say that you're in your ignite phase and you felt good, but now your energy is dropping. You might not be eating enough. So make sure you take the coaching and you add another meal so that your blood sugar stays balanced. Also, if you feel like you need a cup of coffee and you just did a quick, caffeine-free thing, you can add 1 cup each day to just ignite that a little bit. And then the last thing is make sure your sleep is in check. You are what you metabolize, not just what you eat. So if you're going a couple nights without a lot of sleep, that's your body's energy battery. That's how your body recharges itself. So make sure you get proper sleep.
Perfect. Okay, so we need to sleep more. And I love that you pointed out about coffee, because that was a question too. How much coffee can I drink? So you're saying 1 cup in the ignite phase. Fair?
Yeah, ideally, if you can detox and not drink coffee, this is how our body works. Your adrenal gland is like your body's battery. Just like how your cell phone has a battery, your body's got a battery. And when you drink caffeine, it causes a rush of cortisol and adrenaline to kind of jumpstart your body. Well, your body becomes reliant on that caffeine. So if you can go caffeine-free, go for it. But we all live busy lives, so if you really need a cup, limit it to 1 per day, preferably morning or mid-morning. You don't want late night coffee drink. It can interrupt your sleep.
Perfect. Okay, good deal. So next question is, what should I do if I skip a meal? Should I eat double the next time?
No, you should not be eating double. So this is the deal. Look, obviously it's why you need an MRFK, which we talked about last week. Have your food available. It could be as simple as a protein bar or a Zen protein shake in your purse or briefcase. But if you somehow do skip a meal or you go an hour or 2 hours too long, just eat again. Don't worry about doubling up. Just eat a balanced meal, your portion sizes. And then if you're hungry sooner, like an hour or 2 hours later, just eat another meal right then. And then what will happen is your body will replenish that deficit that was created.
Excellent. Next question. What if I'm having cravings? What do I do?
So if you're having cravings, you could be underfeeding yourself. So remember, this is not about dieting or starving yourself. So make sure you feed your machine. Cassiah, say it, feed the machine. That's what you need. Exactly. So you got to eat in threes. And if you're starting to have low energy, just make sure that you're eating consistently throughout so that you don't have any of those cravings, because cravings are caused by low blood sugar.
Well, good advice. I know earlier you just mentioned about sleep and it being, the batteries that recharge our bodies. But one of the questions is, how much does sleep impact our results in the program?
So sleep impacts massively. So obviously we start with the food and the fitness, but this is what I want you to realize. If you're not sleeping, your body is not going to be able to burn fat the way you want it to. So make sure that you're getting the proper hours of sleep. Now people come to me and say, Mark, how much should I sleep? You just have to go with the amount of hours that you've done in the past and you felt refreshed. Make sure that you go to bed around the same time each night and you wake up around the same time. And if you have a late nighter, still wake up at the same time and you can make up those hours of sleep. The most important thing is that you're in a dark environment because that allows you to release the max amount of sleep hormone. You're in a quiet environment And we're going to actually have a webcast in about 2 weeks that's going to dive into how to master your sleep. But that's where you start with now. Make sure you honor your sleep. It will affect your results.
I love that. Honor your sleep. That's a good point. All right, guys. Next question. Does stress make me bloated? I want to hear the answer to this.
Yes, it does. So stress, we all have daily stress, okay? When you do that, you release adrenaline, which is your energy hormone, but you also release cortisol. And cortisol is your stress hormone, and it affects your blood sugar. When you stress too much, you over-release cortisol, and that affects your blood sugar and makes your body hold on to fluid. So this would be my feedback. You know, big stressors like death in the family, loss of job, I mean, that's just part of life. But think about the daily stressors that you have. If you even start a little stress journal, every day that you're stuck in traffic, you're running late for a meeting, those little moments that you have some stress. Even me before this webcast, we had some technical challenges. I had a bit of a stress burst. That causes these micro cortisol bursts. Every time that happens, your body then has to relax itself. If you have too many of that throughout the day, you turn into chronic stress, and that will prevent you from getting the results that you want. So manage your stress and realize that it has an impact on you.
Wow. So take a deep breath every now and again, relax a little bit. I love that. Okay. How important is it for me to be drinking water?
So huge. 60 to 70% of your body is fluid. It's water. And when we forget that, we think that, okay, well, if I don't drink water, then I'm not going to, I won't hold water. It's opposite. Your body wants to release what it has an abundance of. So by drinking fluid, it makes you release fluid, and it keeps your body in a proper state. So make sure that even in your detox phases, you start drinking water. Women, 2 to 3 liters, men, 3 to 4 liters. Make sure you continue that trend throughout the entire program and beyond. The detox phase, ignite phase, thrive phase. Keep hydrated. It's only going to maximize your results.
Absolutely. I find for me too, staying hydrated is so important when you're traveling and you're on the road and, we're eating the way we are and working out and doing things. It's so important to stay hydrated. So I always keep, bottles of water around and try to keep track of what I'm drinking and what I'm taking in. Next question is it better to exercise in the morning or at night? Great question.
Yeah, ideally, a couple of reasons. If you could do it in the morning, do it in the morning for 2 main reasons. Number one, you have your highest amount for men and women testosterone, so you're most energetic. So you're going to be able to give the greatest amount of output and get the best bang for your buck by doing it in the morning. But mentally as well, how many times have you not worked out in the morning and you dreaded all day that you have to work out at night? Yep. No one wants to do that. It starts to build up. So if you can, work out in the morning. If somehow you can't and your schedule doesn't allow that, still work out. Just find a way where you're enjoying it. Like I play indoor soccer on Tuesday nights. That makes it worth me working out at nighttime because I look forward to what I'm doing. And Cassiah, I know you're a big volleyball player, so congrats. I saw you won the championship.
We did. Yeah. I love, and that's what I always say, like moving your body doesn't have to be going and running on the treadmill. It can be doing fun things that you love, that you look forward to, yoga, tennis, walking around the block, playing in leagues, things that you love doing. Another thing for me too, is there's something called ego depletion. So when we work out in the morning, we're more likely to follow our diets and our meal plans and make the right food choices, as opposed to, the further the day goes, the more likely we are just to allow ourselves to have certain things. So I'm a big believer that working out in the morning is obviously probably the best time for your body. But at the same time, if you have to do it in the evenings, but that's the way that you do it, then at least you're moving your body. So definitely want to be working out. All right, we're talking about working out tonight. Obviously, that's our topic. We're talking about optimizing your exercise. So Mark, are you ready to dive in?
I am ready.
All right. So I know you said earlier that there are 5 things that we all need to focus on to make sure that we're working out smarter, not harder, which nobody wants to work out hard. That sounds dreaded, right? We want to work out smart. And the first thing is about knowing the 3 different types of exercises. So why don't you tell our audience the 3 types?
Yeah, and you're so right, Cassiah. It's not about this whole program, everything we're teaching from our first webcast when we talked about 1% at a time. It's never been about, hey, you have to suffer. It's about taking the time that you have and learning how to become better at it. And that's our goal tonight with working out smarter. It's starting to understand your body and organize and create something that's going to allow you to have the maximum output for the time you put in. So let's start with the 3 types of exercises. I first have to come over to my screen, and I'm still learning, as you know. This. So when you look here, when we look at actually what you're doing with it, and you're looking at your types of exercises, you're going to want the 2 to 3 days per week. So you're looking at that you have strength training, high intensity cardio, and fat burning cardio. Your high intensity cardio is when you're having that explosion. So draw a line down your body. Half your body is red muscle, half your body is white muscle. White muscle is that explosion. So when you're doing 1 minute explosion, 1 minute recovery. So imagine jumping rope and getting your heart rate up really high and then recovering. That's working your white muscle fiber. Strength training works your white muscle in essence too, but it does it in the sense that it overloads your muscle fibers. And when you lift weights and you do Pilates or yoga or CrossFit or weights, and you break down those muscle fibers and you get sore that next day, that actually makes your muscle stronger. Bigger muscle allows you to have a better metabolism. And then your fat burning cardio, which is done after either strength training or high intensity cardio, is going to be when you have oxygen present. So that's going to work that red muscle fiber. And that's when you have a steady heart rate. So the 3 types of exercises, understanding first that what's a high intensity cardio, what's strength training, and what's fat burning cardio is going to set you up. And later in this webcast, we're going to talk about a schedule and a workout. And you can kind of see the example there where you have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday strength training for 30 minutes, a high intensity cardio for Tuesday, Thursday for 30 minutes, all followed by fat burning cardio. But those are the 3 types. Let's move on.
Perfect. Okay, so the next point that we wanted to talk about on the show tonight would be mastering your heart rate. And I know we mentioned this on last week's show, and I actually want to show the audience today. I'm wearing my Polar FT. I'm wearing my Polar FT4, but I've been wearing it so I can monitor my daily output because I train and I work out and stuff. And so I like to just keep this as a guide to know how much activity and how much output I'm doing. But it also tells me my heart rate. So my heart rate right now is 80. But when I'm working out, I track it when I'm on the treadmill. So let's talk about this. We want to know, mastering your heart rate. What does this mean for our audience? How can they do what we're doing?
Yeah, I call it, when I keep thinking about it, I call it maximizing your cardio, your oxygen line. So when we think about your oxygen line, and you just look at your screen, you have your fat burning cardio, and then you have your high intensity cardio. I love that Cassiah's got our heart rate, and I have my Apple Watch on too, as I monitor it with the Polar. But go off your breath. So when you're looking at your heart rate, anything that you're out of breath, where you're going, and you're starting to feel winded, you're moving into anaerobic exercise. That's your high intensity white fiber. And that means that's that interval type training. Your aerobic is when oxygen is present. So knowing your oxygen line allows you to maximize it. So when you're doing fat burning cardio, for example, so if Cassiah is walking on a treadmill or she's on the volleyball court, or you're possibly doing a row or you're swimming and you're not out of breath, but you feel like you're on that 140, 145 beats per minute, and you feel like you're about to move over to that oxygen line, but you're there, that's maximizing your fat burning. And ideally you do minimum of 30 minutes. The longer you go, after 30 minutes, the more fat you're going to burn. That's going to be the 3 to 5 days per week, and that's going to recruit your red muscle. Now, your high intensity or your anaerobic one is working that white muscle, and that's when you're doing the bursts of speed. So it's not, let me take my heart rate up to 155 and then go back to 135. No. You want to push it to 160, 170. You want to redline it. Push yourself, like if I'm sprinting on a track, just imagine that. I'm going to go as hard as I can, get totally winded, get my oxygen back, once I recover, I'll just walk, and then I'm going to repeat it. By doing those big gaps is what's going to set you up to win. So by understanding how to maximize both your fat burning cardio and your high intensity cardio based upon your heart rate, you will maximize the amount of fat you can burn with your interval training and your fat burning cardio.
That's interesting. I find that like optimal heart rate, if you look on the left side of the screen, so like 130 to 145, I find that I can walk on the treadmill at like a 2.0 incline. So just like a very slight incline at like 4 miles an hour, and still check emails and return text messages, like still do some work and be productive. So it's something I actually look forward to, and it's a great use of my time. Whereas like you're saying on the other one, the high intensity was more like a sprint and recover, where you just kind of really put a high output and then you let your body recover. So there are ways to move your body in a meaningful way and keep your heart rate, up the way that you need to, like you just showed, Mark.
100%, Cassiah. And one more thing on that, the challenge that people make when we talk about working out smarter, not harder, is too many times people will do 5 hours of just walking on a treadmill or just hiking. And what you have to understand is you're only working 50% of your muscle fiber because you're only working your red muscle. Fat, remember, eating in threes releases your stored fat. So to optimize your exercise, you have to recruit every single fiber in your body. And that's what this is about, understanding how to train your body in the same amount of time to maximize your results.
I love that you're walking us through this, because I think that so many people really want to get the results and they want to work out. They just don't know how to do it. So tonight's call is just amazing. Thank you for sharing this with us. I know we talked about cardio technique. So now you just showed us about heart rate. Now I think the audience is understanding a little bit more about, how to get your blood flowing, get your heart pumping. But let's talk about cardio technique and what that looks like.
Yeah, so everyone sit in your chair and simply just, when you sit in your chair, strengthen your core and put your shoulders back. There's basically 9 things. When you look at your screen, this is when you're doing, whether you're walking, whether you're rowing, whether you're swimming, whether you're spinning. I'm going to talk about a bit of a walking side or a sprinting side, but you want to make sure that you're implementing these same things. Because remember, eating in threes releases your stored fat. That fat gets burned up in your muscle. Our goal with your exercise, we're working out smarter, not harder. Smarter means that you're maximizing muscle fiber recruitment. More muscle you recruit, more fat you burn. So first, you want to keep your body upright and head up. So sit, if you're standing or you're sitting, stand up if you can. Keep your shoulders back, and then that's going to be your upright. Maintain a slight arch in your lower back. So you want to slightly arch your lower back and then drive your abdominals back into your back. This stabilizes your core and protects your spine. You want to tighten your entire abdominal region. You want to keep your shoulders back and chest slightly pressed outward. Now, this is where, if you feel your shoulder blades, the way you know you have proper posture is that you're always squeezing your shoulder blades together and those shoulders back. A lot of times women, the back of their shoulder is their posterior deltoid, and that gets weak and the shoulders start to move forward. So keep focusing on keeping that back. Then you want to contract your butt, your glute muscles. You want to keep your knee in line with your heel. So the challenge is that when you start putting your knee over your toes, that puts pressure on your patella tendon, your kneecap. So you want to make sure that you're just like when you're squatting, that your knee is always in line with your heels. Shift the weight to your ball of your foot, keeping your body upright. You're going to heel strike, and then you're going to push the ball off with your foot while you continually walk. So if you're sitting, kind of go heel, ball, toe, heel, ball, toe. Now, there is a philosophy where you can do a toe strike, and some runners do that. It's an advanced technique. So this is a great way where you could simply optimize your muscle fibers, whether you're doing walking, jumping rope, or non-impact movement. Obviously, you just wouldn't use the heel stuff, but you could still use the first 6 of these techniques. And then if you're on a machine, you want to keep your body in a balanced state. You don't want to hold those handrails. Those handrails prevent you from recruiting more muscle fibers, and you want to breathe in rhythm. So basically, for every 3 to 4 steps, you inhale and then exhale. That's going to allow you to get maximum oxygen output. Oxygen allows you to push your heart rate so you recruit more muscle fibers and burn more fat.
Mark, I'm doing this right now and I feel like I'm getting a workout, just squeezing my butt and my abs and my shoulders. I'm like, you mean you got to do something else in the meantime?
I love it.
That's fun. No, that's good to know though, that like there's a certain technique in how we need to be reverent and take care of our bodies. But I'm telling you what, just standing here and like following along with everything, I was like, okay, let me see if I can remember all of this. We need that guide put in the group for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to do so after this webcast. I'm going to post everything. Those 3 things I showed, I'm going to post them right into groups so we can dive into them.
Okay, so if everybody knows about heart rates and they know to squeeze their butts and contract their abs and do all the right things, let's talk about a routine. How do we put all of this together to be successful with, what we're doing with our body transformation and our meal plans?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'm going to show 2 slides here. There's one that you can download inside the group, but let me show you the one that we already had up there. So if you look, this is where I was talking about, you have the 3 types. So basically, if you're doing, when we started, if you're not working out at all, just start 3 days a week for 15 minutes and just do fat burning cardio. But as you get stronger, you want to start diversifying so that you're hitting your 3 types of exercises. 2 to 3 days of strength training, couple days of high intensity cardio, and then the 5 days of fat burning cardio. So 30 minutes of either strength training or high intensity. That would be like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Your high intensity would be a Tuesday, Thursday, and then each one would be followed by fat burning cardio. And just remember, you burn much more fat after strength training or high intensity cardio, not before. And if you only want to do 2 days of strength training, you could do 3 days of high intensity cardio. So that's an example. Now there's another exercise aspect that's actually in the group that I want to show you. And that one is it's kind of a mix that you can do. You can go to the group and you can download this. And this one, it gives you a variety. It's not as strength training, high intensity, and fat burning cardio. It kind of mixes it a bit. And you, once you understand your body and the 3 types of exercises, play around with it. Start having fun with it. You know, when you look here, Monday could be strength training, then could be high intensity cardio. Then you could do a cardio strength training mashup. Then you could do a strength training, then high intensity cardio. So you can play around with it. You can take 1 day or 2 days off. Just make sure you don't burn yourself out. So I would look at both of these types of routines, get clear on what works for your schedule, lay it out, preferably do it in the morning, and really start looking at how can you activate your body and turn it into a fat burning machine.
I totally agree. I love that calendar too. I'm going to pull that up and just talk over it really quickly. So like the cardio strength mashup, that's a lot of times what I do, Mark, is I work out with a trainer on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We do weightlifting. And then after I go to the gym for like 30 minutes and just walk on the treadmill to follow my strength training with cardio. But I also am in shape and I've been working out for years and years. So it's easy for me. So just know your body, guys. Like don't do anything that's too intense where your body feels extremely sore. You have to also, you know, increase your activity strategically so that you're not overdoing it. Because if you're just new to working out, any movement will be really good for you. Just make sure that you follow along the guides that Mark's provided, and obviously do it to your level of ability, not necessarily overdoing it and then burning yourself out. That's the worst part.
100%. You don't want to burn yourself out at all. And you're so spot on that. It's just, Cassiah, I love what you did. You would do that strength mashup, and then you could do some bonus fat burning cardio. And if you're hungry after that, you can always do a Zen shake or a protein bar that can keep your body fueled as you dive into the fat burning cardio.
Always. That's my workouts. My strength training workouts are always followed with Zen Pro. That's what we do. So I know you had a 5th tip though. It sounds like you only given us 4. You have one more tip about exercise. So what is it?
Yeah, and this is the one that you just talked about that everyone on this call needs to do. Look, keep your exercise fun, just like your food. We talked about last week your food strategies, how to manage your food frenzy. If you don't enjoy your food, you will stop eating this way and you will go back to what you did. That's why you need to spice up your food. You must enjoy your exercise. So to me, I don't like to walk on a treadmill. I'm not going to do it anymore. I did it for years. That's why I play indoor soccer twice a week. That's why I go play indoor trampoline dodgeball with my son Hunter. I do these things that get me active, that allow me to be great, get my exercise in, maximize my 3 types, but I have fun doing it. So that's my invitation to you. My goal for you this week is to really, and Cassiah, as we talked about this, is to start experimenting. Try one new thing every single week exercise-wise, whether it's a new fat-burning cardio movement, whether it's a new high-intensity movement, whether it's a new strength training movement. But get creative and have fun with it. And include your family and friends.
Always, yeah, and just be conscious of movement. Like you said, Mark, I love that, especially for people who maybe aren't active or aren't athletic. Just move your body, go for a walk in the morning, go for a walk in the evening, take your kids somewhere. You can walk around the mall. My gosh, there's so many ways of being active. Just make it fun. So I love that tip. All right, we are at the end of the show, guys. So to all of our live viewers, thanks for hanging in with us. We love having you here. You're a part of our community and you matter. So this part of the show, we want to take time to just give you some motivation, and we want to honor and highlight some people who are part of our community. So Mark, who is this week's first All-Star?
So the first All-Star is going to be, and what we're focusing on here is we have 5 All-Stars, and the All-Stars are determined. Cassiah and I go through the group with Bonnie, and what we just want to say is, how can we honor the people who are active? And we have some special awards. So the first one for most motivating and passionate, and I'm going to pull her up right here, is JoJo Williams. So when we look at JoJo, woohoo, give a wah-wah. When I look at JoJo, and we go right here and you see JoJo, she lost 7 pounds this week, 5.5 inches. JoJo has been a highlight of this. She's down 41 pounds since November. She was at the Orlando convention, the Jeunesse convention, and she just said, I'm making this happen. If you follow her, please give her a shout out, because JoJo's been motivating. I love her passion. I love her inspiration. And I love how she just continues to inspire all of us within the group. So JoJo, standing ovation to you. Now our next one. Cassiah, did you want to say anything to JoJo?
I did, just very quickly. I just wanted to say to JoJo how much I absolutely adore this woman. I so appreciate her passion. I also very much appreciate her consistency. And I think it's something we can all learn from her. In diligence and fortitude and doing anything great starts with that one small step. And I just want to applaud her for how diligent she's been on the program. I want to applaud her for being so strong and vulnerable at the same time, sharing her progress and her journey. I think has just been remarkable. So big salute to you, JoJo. Thank you for being a part of our family, a part of our community. We just love you and wish you nothing but continued success. Okay, next highlight, Mark, over to you.
Next one for best food ideas. So remember, this group is about your food must taste good. So best food ideas goes to the Mallory Vorick from North Dakota.
Yeah.
Great. She's got a little crock pot veggie frittata. Mallory's been great in there. She's been answering tons of questions about food. She makes food taste great. So this is just another shout out, guys, that this whole community is to make our food. We want to enjoy it. So have fun with it. Keep posting stuff just like Mallory. So the best food, the all-star this week goes to Mallory.
Keep them coming, Mallory. Rock on, rock on. I love it.
I love that too. So are we still going to our next one now?
Yes, next one. Go for it, Mark. You got it pulled up? I'll give another shout out to Mallory. I'll just tell the audience, if you want your photos shared, take great pictures, make your food beautiful, add those herbs, plate it beautifully. We want to see visually stunning images. So post your food the same way Mallory does. So Mallory, congratulations to you. Thank you for sharing your delicious food with us.
I love it, Cassiah, and you're so spot on that. So when we want to do the greatest visual. Are you getting feedback, Cassiah?
I'm not getting feedback, but you're cutting in and out.
Okay. So our next one is going to be based on our greatest visuals, which is going to be Robert and Carrie Sincolke. So when you look at them, this is what I love. Rob's lost. They took 2 pictures, and you have Carrie who has 2 5-pound bags of potatoes. And then Rob has 3 5-pound bags of potatoes. And you look at that picture, Rob lost 13.5 pounds and 6.5 inches in the cleanse and carried 9.5 pounds and 7.5 inches. But what I love is the visual. That's the actual weight that their body dropped. Well done. I love the creativity of that picture, Cassiah.
I love the creativity too, and congratulations to Robert and Carrie. What phenomenal results, and way to track it. I think there's something really special about writing things down, setting goals for yourself, and just what they did, guys. Look at that visual. That is how much weight they lost in potato sacks. Incredible. So little things that we do actually have big results. We just sometimes don't look at it that way, but look at what they've done. I think is remarkable. So great job.
Yeah, and I love that, and I just love the ability where you're able to keep thinking, okay, what does that actually look like weight-wise, and how could we implement that? So here, when we're looking at, and let me make sure I'm on the right one here. Yep. When I want to look at our 4th one, and this is our best tagline. So I love that Tish Jones did drop and give me Zen. And she did this picture. We got 92 likes on this. And Tish Jones, I met in Anaheim when we did the Jeunesse project a week ago. And I just love her passion. So if you can create new taglines in this group, go for it. And let's all keep sharing them. But drop and give me Zen. I dig that, Tish Jones.
Tish, I love you. I got to give you a big shout out because I love what you did there. But Mark, I'm going to have to trump you on this one because I'm pretty sure that's a Renita Brandon quote. I'm pretty sure that's a Renita quote. And they have t-shirts, but I love it, Tish. I love what she did there. I also see that Jamie posted her daughter, who's Miss Greater Sacramento, also in that shirt. So I don't know where they can get them. Obviously, you can go to Jeunesse.com to get all of your awesome Zen swag. But I got to tell you, Mark, I think that's a Renita Brandon. So we got to give her a shout out.
Oh, man, I didn't know that.
It's a good one, though. So the point is, guys, if you have great taglines or you come up with fun, creative marketing things, share them. And let's talk about what we can do to make our community even better. And fun, pithy things like that are outstanding. I love them.
Well, and I love Renita Brandon. So Renita, if that came up with you, she is one of the greatest one-liners I've ever met in my life. So our last one, here we go. And this goes to one of my dear friends and someone that is just, she has such a great heart. And it's going to go for the biggest heart is Jody L. Stevens. And she creates these amazing muffins. She does recipes. But Jody's the cheerleader that everyone wants. You make a post, Jody's on it. She's giving feedback. Jody's dropped over 100+ pounds. We featured her on my CNN show. I love her heart. I love her passion. And she's always there trying to make a difference and inspiring people. So Jody, biggest heart. So big shout out to JoJo Williams, Mallory Vorick, Robert and Carrie Sinoki, Tish Jones, and the Jody Stevens. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you guys so much for your contribution to the group. Jody, we love your pictures. They're amazing. You guys are all doing an outstanding job. We so appreciate you guys just being a part of our community. That's really what makes stuff like this so fun, is knowing that we have a whole family and people who are participating. So Mark, that brings our show to a close for tonight. Guys, hopefully you took great notes. Now you understand how to optimize your exercise so you can maximize your time and maximize your results in the amount of time that you're spending in the gym and how you're moving your body and working out. And next week, get ready, because from my understanding, we're moving into Thrive. Is that right, Mark?
Yeah, we are diving into the Thrive phase. So so this is where you're going to live your life. So we're 1 week of detox, 21 days of Ignite, and then it's going to be able to thrive. So get ready. You do not want to miss this one. And I am so proud of each of you. We are in week 4. Next level, here we come. And Cassiah, thanks so much for leading this right by my side. Just the beginning.
Always a pleasure, guys. Thanks so much for watching the show tonight. We can't wait to see you right here on this channel at hangouts.zenproject8.com next Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. By the way, if you love tonight's show, share it. The replay is available immediately following. Mark, thank you for your expertise, for your passion, for everything you are teaching our community. We love you. We so appreciate everything that you are doing, and this is such a fun transformation and such a fun program to be a part of. So thank you for having me.
Thanks, Cassiah. Hugging from Atlanta, Georgia, everybody. Mwah.
Hugging from Dallas, Texas. We'll see you next week on the next Hangout, guys. Bye.
Bye.